how you doing this morning? You're looking beautiful and pretty and happy like a little kid, and I love it.
Good morning. You too. You too. This is big doings. This is an awesome, awesome morning. It really is. And anybody looking at the screen can understand why it's an awesome morning.
And it's 7 a.m. too.
Yeah, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Oh,
but you know what? Wait a minute. I remember getting up 2 o'clock in the morning to get to the airport traveling. So I feel as though I had to get up because this was something big, like you're getting ready to travel. So it's the same thing.
Oh, yes, I totally agree. And I'm grateful to be able to show everyone part of the magazine, because if we have to go through all the pages, it's going to take a long time, and we don't want to keep people for a very long time. But as you can see, this is the cover of September 2021 magazine. And we are celebrating podcasters and with Hey Podcasters. And I'm grateful to be a part of that celebration with you. Well, everyone at WomELLE is grateful to celebrate that with you. You are a great podcaster and you love what you do, and I'm honored to be a part of what you are doing.
Thank you. I do love it. I really do. Can we back up a minute? Because you made history. WomLEAD history is right here before us. Guess what? They've never had men on the cover. Who's on the cover?
It was funny because I had to have a meeting with my team because I was kind of worried. Do I want to have a man in the cover? Because we never really have that before. But I believe these 3 men that's in the cover worth having on the cover. All 3 of them are doing awesome work to help not just men, but to also help women, to help podcasters in general. Yeah. So I'm grateful to have them. And I'm grateful to actually know them out there doing awesome work and helping people. And that's what we do at WomELLE. So having them in the cover represent that.
You want to tell everybody who they are?
I think I'll let you do that.
Okay, because we covered it in our first chat session, which was wonderful. I listened to it again yesterday. But at the top, we have Evo Terra. This gentleman was podcasting in 2004. He is the host of podcast pontifications, and we both of us just admire him greatly. Then we have up under the Hey Podcasters banner there, we have Mr. Chris Krimitsos. He is the brainchild. Well, first of all, he is an exceptional businessman. And he is a podcaster. And there in Florida, you guys know him very well because he always is hosting PodFest. And I understand they're doing it live and hybrid in November of 2021. So he's a visionary. He's down for podcasters. He's always setting up an exceptional platform. He Guinness Book of World Records of attendance. He beat that world record, I think, by 5 people, if it wasn't last year, year before last, for people in a virtual conference, which was groundbreaking. And then at the very bottom, we have one of the reasons why we have on September 30th, International Podcast Day. We have to have Mr. Dave. Oh my goodness, what is it like?
Lee.
Dave Lee. Sorry, Dave Lee. How could I forget? Dave Lee, him and his dad, they are the reason why we have International Podcast Day on September 30th. Those are the gents on this month's cover.
Absolutely. And I love reading the work. It's amazing how they're always looking to collaborate with other people.
Yes.
And I think that's a big difference between men and women. And I got to see it in September. How men are always stand up and say, hey, I want to support, compared to a woman. It takes a lot more gut to get them to say yes to something. And I want to say thank you to them for supporting other people, for helping podcasters, for creating platform for podcasters, and for both men and women. I'm grateful to be in their circle.
For real. When these gentlemen were approached for conversations, and I don't even call them interviews, when they were approached, there was no hesitation. And I'm not putting any shade on women, but we kick the tires, we hem, we haul, we go back, we go forward. These gents, all I had to do was say, podcasters. Let them know about the magazine, the collaboration, the power of it. Of course, they're all businessmen in their own right, but they did their research, they vetted, and they jumped right in. And it did not take them weeks to do it either, Naghilia. And they were just ready, and they came through.
Absolutely, yes. And then they support as much as they can, and that's what I think. Either men and women, that's what we should be doing, supporting one another. And because when we do that, we're creating a better generation anyway. So we need to do that. It's important that we do that.
I agree.
We're gonna go through the magazine real quick, so we're not gonna spend a lot of time into it. I'm not gonna show all the pages because it's gonna be too long. But
I wish you guys could feel this magazine. You're going to have to get a copy and get it in your hands. I do my fingers like this because this is not a flyer. WomLEAD is not a flyer. It feels so good. Those of you who love books and love good publications, when you feel the texture in your hands, when you go through, and here's the evidence right here, the caliber of writing and presentation and media. I can't say enough. Okay, that I'm backing off my soapbox, but I'm telling you, this publication is top notch.
Thank you, Margo. I appreciate it. It's funny, you've been with us since the beginning of the magazine. I remember telling you when I was gonna start the magazine.
And you did it. Oh boy.
Oh, yes. And the next we have is Evo Terra. Each one of them has a squid inside the magazine.
Wow.
But here is Dave Lee.
Yes. Wow.
And this one is the top 20 podcasts to listen to in 2021. We go over a few podcasters, listen to them to see what they're talking about, the information, and we pick it by how many. A lot of people stop podcasting, but they stop. They will publish one episode today, and then you don't hear from them again for a month or two. Yeah. So we kind of look how they stay into what they are doing. And then that's how we pick them, and the information they're giving and how much they love what they're doing also play a big part of it. So that is the list. We come up with 20 podcasts to follow for 2021.
Yeah. That consistency is everything. It really, really is. It means so much. It really, Absolutely. Really does. So
I agree. Wow. And that is Girls Ask Guys show with John and Ashley. I can't ever get enough of their show because it's just like a lot of things they talk about. It's like, yeah, my mom never said that. Yeah, she never mentioned that either. Yeah, she missed that too.
This
I had to learn it the hard way.
Yeah. And some of these things that they talk about, the investigative work that they go into to relationships and expose the predators. I mean, they get in the gutter, the nitty gritty underbelly of relationships and life that we really don't want to know about, but we do need to know about.
Absolutely. We need to know. If we know about them early, we can at least kind of stop it from happening, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the important things, knowing a little bit here and there.
Yes.
And we have Coach Jenny and the magazine as well.
Doing big business. I mean, connecting United States, people doing, entrepreneurs in the States want to do business in Canada and France, Africa. That's the woman to go to. When I heard her on a podcast this weekend, and it was just like, wow, I know that she's the creme de la creme for doing international business, but this lady is top notch. So I'm grateful to know her also, really.
Absolutely. And then even watching the things that she's doing, connecting people from one place to another is hard. Even if technology get a lot better and you think we have all these things going on, we should be able to connect, but still you ask yourself, can I trust that person? And having someone like her that's already know it all, it's a big help.
Yeah. And connected. She knows the territory. She speaks the languages. I think she says she speaks 4 different languages. I've heard her just, I know she's with the French. It's just like, oh my goodness, she's always, you get on her show and she's always explaining things in French, and it's the movement and the energy of her podcast, of her presentations over on YouTube are really, really something else. They really are.
Absolutely, I agree. And we're not going to go through the entire magazine, but that's most of the part of it. And it will be available for to buy online today if someone want to purchase a copy. And I will have the link with the video so people can buy it. Yeah. But it's amazing. It's about hey podcasters, but at the same time, a lot of information from our writers, contributors that write about businesswomen and things that we need to know about business as well. So
because that's what the magazine is all about, how we as women in particular can do business on a deeper level, a richer level, and meet success, correct?
Exactly. Because we need that. We think we know everything, but really the world is changing very fast. And we need to keep up with it. As businesswomen, as men or women, it's hard to keep up with everything. So having the help from other people to tell you what's going on, what to keep up with, for me, it's really helpful.
Yeah. And I think I read that there were, a scary amount of boomers who bailed out of work and during COVID, taking these early retirements and that type of thing, moving into entrepreneurship. And having done so myself, you have the employee mindset and you don't necessarily mix in the entrepreneur mentality. So you really do need someone like WomELLE, the corporation, WomLEAD, the magazine, to help you, because it's not an easy transition. It simply is not. You think that it is. You can look at it as a consumer, but you need help. You need somebody to help you.
You need help. You can't run a business alone. It doesn't matter who you are. I don't care if you're Superman. You cannot run a business alone. You need help. You need someone you can reach out to, ask for help. Sometimes you get frustrated. Sometimes you got lost. Sometimes you don't know what to do. What's next? So that sometimes you need someone just to be your cheerleader because you don't have that at home. Either way, you need help. So that's one thing I learned very early. You need help. Some of us got lucky. We have husbands, we have family members that just stand behind us and support us. But some of us are not that lucky. So we have to reach out to other people for help. And that's what we do. That's what WomELLE is all about. Supporting you, cheerleading you, helping you, holding your hands and guide you.
Yeah, because you don't know. And there's no shame. You may have been a hotshot, snazzy manager in corporate, and most folks do get into management. You've been around any amount of time. That's just the natural progression of things. But once you get into another arena out of your comfort zone, don't think that you are a failure or you're less than, or there's something wrong with asking for help. Go into this entrepreneurship understanding you're going to need some help more than one time, from business plan, putting that together all through the course of building out the business. You're going to need some help, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's the wise thing. That's the courageous and the wise way to build. Jeff Bezos, God, I'll ask any of those guys, they're going to be honest and tell you they got a team. Do they know everything? No. Warren Buffett.
No. They didn't do it alone. I never heard any one of them talking, saying that I did this by myself.
No.
Never. So I know you can't do it alone. I know I can't really take WomELLE where it needs to be alone. So I know I cannot. So having help is important. Sometimes I even need a shoulder to cry on, because don't get me wrong, sometimes I do cry. Especially when I first started WomELLE. I was seeing all these people showing off. They're driving big cars. They're doing big this. They wearing a coach. Oh my goodness. It's like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? I would cry thinking I'm doing something wrong. And it takes me a while to make research, realizing that these people are not wearing coach. They just actually borrow it and return it. They just rent this car for one day, take a picture of it and return it. They drove by this house, they took a picture, they put it online. They really not doing big things. It took me a while to realize it. Yeah. And once I moved past that make a lot of difference on WomELLE. In 2016, I had to pass that, like, Let them do them, the fake things, posting fake things online. Let me do myself, the real thing. I get there in a slow mode, like a slow park, like a little turtle. I'm okay with that because when I get there, they cannot break me down.
No, that's building for sustainability. That there's nothing like, and maybe you're the business, I'm the podcaster, you're the business person. But to me, from what I've seen, organic growth is the best.
It is.
You know, we always want instant gratification in anything, and it's just not the way to go about things.
I think it's better to let the business go the way it's supposed to, because when you're in a hurry, you miss things. You miss a lot of things, and that's when you make mistakes. And trust me, you don't want to make mistakes because a lot of time they come back to hunt you down. And if you make mistake with the IRS, the government, these things, they never go away. Once they knock on your door, it's like, good morning, America, and we're not leaving you anytime soon. Oh, really?
Better ask somebody. That's the truth. It's the same thing with relationships. I mean, you really, if you've never had to network and build your own relationships that are going to represent your brand and help promote your brand, you need somebody to help you do that also, because that is not a natural thing for everybody. So you really have to, you just need, Elaine Fluker said it well, and the name of her podcast and her new book, support is sexy. It's not sexy to go down with the Titanic when somebody on the shore, maybe 10 feet away, could have helped you,
Yes.
Support is sexy on every hand.
And also you have to learn how to, when you get the support, you also have, building relationship is hard. A lot of people, it's not the same relationship you have with the girlfriend that comes to your house and kicking in the couch and watching TV and eating popcorns or drinking wine. It's not that same relationship. It's a little bit different. You still got to keep it real, but you also got to keep it in a professional way.
Yes.
And sometimes it takes a little bit of work for you to understand that, to miss it's like you combine personal and business together. And once you do that, it can become an issue if you don't know how to handle it.
Yes. You have to understand the boundaries, correct? And
yes.
And especially when it comes to a collaboration like what we've done. We did a marvelous collaboration in March, and then here we are again. But I understand what part I play in it, and I never want to go ahead and throw everything on you. For one thing, you wouldn't let me do it. And that's just a word to the wise, because I've heard people say, I've been in collaborations and they've just thrown everything on me. They've shown up or they didn't show up. And I think that's why a lot of people can't get anybody to work with them, to trust them. Because once again, we get to these relationships. Once you burn that bridge, people talk, people see the results, so just get help.
Exactly, get help. And when you have to collaborate, make your research about who you're collaborating to, because I partner with people before and they come back and they say, well, you're supposed to be doing this. I'm like, well, if I'm doing everything, why am I collaborating with you in the first place? Or they change the dates on you. They'll tell, well, no, we're supposed to do it next month. We had a calendar. Did you check that? So make sure you keep your things together. I know there's a lot going on in this world, and it will always be like that. It's up to you to keep your things my friend used to say, sorry, my language, keep your shit together.
Well, bottom line, collaborations call for doing that.
Exactly.
And if something happens, I learned something happens, say so. Say something.
Exactly. Which the people you are collaborating to, it's good if something is happening in your life, reach out to them, explain what's going on, tell them. They will understand. Now, especially if you come to me, say, this is the issue I'm facing, this is what's going on. I will tell you, you know what, I'll help you with this, because you're telling me. Don't lie to me though, because I catch lie very easily. So, and if I catch you that you are lying, I'll be gone in a second before we even finish with the conversation.
Yeah.
But tell the truth, what's going on, and ask for help. It's okay, because things happen in life. It's happened to you, it happened to me, it happens to all of us.
Yes.
It's kind of funny, Margo. Our conversation, we never know where it's gonna go, where it's going.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
How did we done in collaboration when we were talking about magazine?
Because this time of year, I've noticed that there are a lot of people looking for people to join on their summits and webinars, and people are looking for people to join together with something that they're putting together. And I just think that it's good that we talk about it, because so many people get caught in a catch-23 or catch-22, whatever that is. The other thing that I just wanted to bring up also is when you're in collaboration, stay in your wheelhouse. Don't exaggerate or lie about your strength. If you can't do something, if that's not your strength, don't say that you can do it, because you're going to mess up the whole thing. You know, don't go into something thinking I'm going to do this. And we always do it because, oh, I'm going to be on the stage with so-and-so, so-and-so, but I really can't do this. I've really never been a public speaker before. And God knows I've never been a motivational speaker before, but I'm going to do it because I'm going to be on the stage with so-and-so, so-and-so. And then you end up paying all this money, and it just doesn't work out for you. You know, work within your strength. What say you to that, Naghilia?
I totally agree. What you know, you know it well. When you know something, you know it really well. It's easy for you. It come easy for you, right? Like you're a podcaster. Talking about podcasting come easy to you. But if you decided I'm going to switch, let's talk about how to be a YouTuber, then that's a problem, because you don't know anything about being in YouTube.
Big problem.
So you got a big problem. Or you decided I'm going to talk about how to actually make money on your company and market it. You start talking about things like that, it's like you're a lost puppy, because it's not what you do. No. So stay within what you know, not what you don't know. And a lot of time too, I heard people said, I'm just going to Google it. I got this, girl. I'll Google it. Google can take you not that far. Yeah. You still need the knowledge, because when you are talking, when you're explaining things to people, you have to know what you're talking about. Yes. And if you don't, then, well, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be Googling while you're talking? Well, you can try that, but it's not going to work too well, especially not for me. It doesn't. So stay with what you know, you know? Yeah. And if you don't know something, it's okay if you don't know it. Perhaps this opportunity will be good for you next year. So you can take the time, maybe take a mini course on your community college. Because I see, like in Florida, I remember when I used to be in Florida, I used to take those courses for like $60, $80 to $100, and I learned something new. Maybe that's what you want to do. Go to your community college, get a course about it, and then next year you'll be ready to do what you want to do. But for now, if you don't know it, you don't know it. And stop trying to do something you don't know, because you're going to mess up your collaboration, you messed up your brand, and you messed up your name, and it's not worth it.
No, it is so not worth it. There are some people you never underestimate how you're showing up and who's watching you, because because of social media and technology, what used to be a huge world is now very small, and industries are small. And if you're known for, as I always say, selling cars by day, shampoo by night, who can trust you? Are you really the expert that you say that you are? If you're showing up real spotty, we can't really find you in media, your digital footprint, your print footprint. That's what I love about WomLEAD. You have given podcasters a chance to have a print footprint, a current footprint, not something 8 years ago, which is good, but even what have you been doing since the pandemic? Because I've been listening to podcasts, and a lot of people are just giving kudos, like I do, kudos to those who kept moving during the pandemic. These, let people be found, know that you were found, you were in the fray, you were in the thick of things, you were pushing forward when other people were sitting at home afraid, like we all were, but eating bonbons and watching TV and just not able to move forward, which was the plight of so many people. And I don't downplay that, but there are the people who I call on the front line, such as ourselves, who forged on. And you need to show up in print, digital and in print also.
I agree
Okay.
with you. And also, Margo, you just have to keep showing up, Don't showing
Yeah.
up just because you want to showing up, because you have that new dress you want to wear on and showing up. That's not what we mean. I mean, showing
Yeah.
up for business. Showing up,
Yes.
I'm in business and I'm ready, let's do this. That type of showing up. And even with the pandemic, there's a lot of things we couldn't do on WomELLE. We decided to build.
Mm-hmm.
We take that year to build. And if you can't, there's not much you can do. You can always build. You can always revisit where your business is. What's been going on in your business? Where is it? What can you change when the pandemic is over for you to keep on moving forward? Because there's always little things. Your website, maybe your branding need a better clarity. There's a lot of things you can look into your business to see what's missing.
Do some housekeeping.
Exactly, because I see a lot of people, like I meet a lot of people that have website from 1980. I don't know. They just look so old. Maybe it's time for you to revisit that, rebuild it.
Yeah.
I know money is hard, but if you are in business, just like you got to look pretty every day. When you go to the store, wherever you go shopping, you got to buy a new shirt, you got to buy a new shoes, you look pretty. It's the same thing for your business. You have to keep investing on it. And you got to keep it current. You cannot have something where people can barely read what you have on it. Your brochures look like, I don't know, a hot mess. Your business card look like a monkey build it, make it, design it for you. It doesn't matter, but you don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
If there's an emergency, there's a pandemic, anything it is that's going on in the world, do not stop.
Yeah.
Revisit what you need to revisit. Maybe it's time for collaboration. Reach out to other business people. Hey, how can we collaborate? How can we help one another? It's time, maybe with the pandemic, I didn't like to be in camera. I'm not gonna lie. I just didn't like. I love taking pictures. I can take pictures all day long with my phone. That's fine by me. But when you say camera, goodbye, honey. I was here and I'm not here anymore. Bye-bye. See you. Ciao, ciao. But with the pandemic, I used that opportunity to get myself in camera. And I would not lie, it was so uncomfortable. I mean, like, even if I know what I was talking about, I felt like I didn't know what I was talking about because I was too scared to talk about it. And now I'm getting a lot more comfortable with camera. I'm getting I feel like a lot more better to do it. Yes, it's still a little bit hard because it's not my comfort zone. But I felt like with keep doing it over and over again, I'll get better at it. And I think that's the things that when things like pandemic happen, look at the things you're not good at. Look at the things your business need an upgrade on. Maybe it's the time to do it. If you have to spend a little of money to get it there, then you have to, because that's your baby.
That's bread and butter. It's your baby. Blood, sweat, and tears, and many nights and dreams are wrapped up in that one thing that you do. But you really brought it on around. You really brought it on home. It leaves me with the thought of, while you're cleaning house, don't be every which way. Don't be on the internet. Well, today they're talking about podcasters and monetization. I'm going to run on over there and I'm going to build a podcast because that's where the money is. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and learn how to build websites because that's where the money is. You agree, get someplace, become the expert. When you go on these podcasts, when you speak, when you do the live streams, when you speak, be known for what you know, and you're not everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yes, pick what you like, pick what you feel comfortable with to start with. And if you need to go out of that, it's okay. You can always add on later on, but at least what you started with, make sure it's working before you move to the next thing. You see company like Apple, they add things into their business all the time. Microsoft. Now, if you look at Microsoft is branching out a lot. And it's okay to do that because they're already where they needed to be. Adding on, it was nothing for them. But as small business owners, when we just keep adding and adding and adding, we never build the way we're supposed to, it become an issue. Yes. So I guess understand your vision, understand the goal behind your company, build that out. And once you do that, then you can go ahead and add more things, but don't try to be a podcaster when you don't know anything about podcasting.
You can't build a good foundation. Whatever you're doing, you have to have a good foundation so that wherever you go, you can, as someone explained to me a long time ago, you can build out and you can build up on it. If you are a podcaster and you want to go to a network, you can go to a network and not be fearful that your podcast is going to collapse. You pull away from that network, you're on your own. The last thing you have to worry about is the structure of your podcast, the message of your podcast. These things, you know, podcaster, selling clothes, selling earrings, whatever you do, you have to have a good structure. You have to have a firm foundation.
Absolutely, I agree.
I learned from the best.
I totally agree with you on that, Margo. That's absolutely right. And another thing too, I seen with people putting themselves in the middle is they decided, okay, I'm gonna pay to speak. I seen that going on a lot lately. Yes. I'm going to pay to speak. And then I have to, not only that I pay to speak on a conference and a summit, but also I have to market it. Yeah. And I have to log in every day, listen to everybody else talking. You know what? It's a good thing to support other people, but you also have a business to run. So if you're taking your whole week to support, to sit there listening, promoting someone else, you're not doing yours. And you already paid to be a part of that. For me, I find it stupid. Sorry, my language, but that's just how I seen it. If you paid to be somewhere, you shouldn't have to spend an entire month or 2 months promoting that for that person. That person should be promoting you because you paid to be there. And don't do that. It's just not worth it. I know you want to collaborate with people, you want to be a part of what they are doing, but you put money on the table and you need to get what you paid for. And it cannot just be you do all the hard work when that you're paying that person and they put that summit together and they got 30, 40 people advertising for them and they do nothing when the money is in the pocket. It's just, I don't know. I've seen people just come up with things that's just weird.
That seems to be a business model these days where
it's not a business model.
It's not.
No, it's not. It's, for me, I call it a whip off. You ripping people off. That's just the way it is. You are ripping people off. And they are only doing it to people who are just starting. Mm-hmm. Because they know you are starting, they know you need that marketing, and they know they can fool you with it, and then you just go for it. You got fooled. Don't do that. If you pay to speak, they should be promoting you, period. That's where it's ended.
Hey, people pay, from what I've seen, people are paying so that they can say that I was on stage with so-and-so and so-and-so. And, you know, I don't know. I'm on the fence with that. I agree that we have to run our businesses, but I also, being on the other side of it, I also understand wanting to be able to say I was on the same bill as so-and-so and so-and-so. I don't dare call any names. Because then it gets down to one of the panel discussions that's coming up before the month is out for Hey Podcasters. When you are a podcast guest, do you pay or pay to play or not pay? And we're going to run that one next week because it's a very fascinating conversation. And I must admit, I have paid to play, to be on someone's podcast, because I just wanted to meet that podcaster. I just did. I was brand new. I said, oh my God, I want to get on their radar. And it worked, you know, but I had to pay.
I think your way is different. When you podcasting, it's media. Mm-hmm. When somebody interview you and they publish that goes to 20, 30 platform, your name is behind a lot of things there.
For years to
come. You're on Apple, you're on Google, you're on Spotify, you're on a lot of iHeart, you're on a lot of places, Pandora, it's a lot of places. You're getting something out of that. For me, I feel like you should pay a podcaster to be in the podcast because they are advertising you. It's worth paying for. The difference is that when you go pay to speak in a conference or to speak in a summit, that you actually have to advertising that summit and you have to sit in that summit for the entire time. because they say so. For me, I find that stupid.
Well, I'm glad you made that clarification. Differentiate between the two, because put it that way, I totally have to agree.
It's a
totally
big
agree.
difference, Margo, because,
Yeah.
okay, hi, Margo, I'm having a conference. I would love you to speak on it. It's going to cost you $1,500, and I'm going to have so-and-so in there. But here's my requirement. You have to advertise on it. You need to change your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Twitter, put my body on top of it. I'm going to send you some flyers to put flyers in and what to say on every single day to post it. And also, yes, I'm going to need you to log in every day, listen to everybody talking, and comments in there. Hold on, wait a minute. Did you say I'm paying you $1,500 for that? Yes, you are. You're paying me $1,500. Absolutely. But you have to do all these things with the $1,500 you're giving me. But wait, what do I get out of this?
Yeah.
Well, you get to speak on my conference. And then so-and-so might be there. And sometimes they say might be there. So pretty much they're not even sure.
Or if they are, what difference does it really make to you? You're not going to get a chance to meet them. Or if you do, really,
They're probably not going to even remember it tomorrow morning.
Oh, no, because they're on to the next thing. And I can say more about that also, because I mean, a lot of that is going on a lot.
I just think people should stop it. It's not a business model.
Okay.
Period. It's just not a business model, because what you are doing, the people who's just starting the business, that actually they need that $1,500, that $2,000, that $5,000 to focus on their business. They're giving it to you because they think they're going to get something, and they get the absolute nothing.
They need that $500, $600, $700, $800, $900. They need that. If it's $400, they need that. There's things to buy, to build, to invest in. They need that to invest in themselves. That's going to catapult them on down the street in the future.
Exactly. For me, the way I look at it, better than doing something like that, I would say, yes, spend $200, $300 getting a podcast. It's worth having, because your name gonna be in a lot of places. It's better. And at the end, you have a conversation you can use everywhere.
Oh, yes.
You can have it on your website. It's worth it.
Yeah. Do enough of them, you can compile a book.
Exactly. It's a lot of things you can do with that. For me, spending $200, $300, $500 to be in a podcast, I don't see it. I see it as a marketing expense. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting there promoting somebody else's podcast and you're paying to do that, for me, I just find it weird. Yeah. It's just, as a businesswoman, I find it weird. And I will not support someone to go ahead and do that. Don't get me wrong. If you want to spend your money wasting it, go ahead, go for it. Mm-hmm. I know one lady that said to me, I said to her, why do you keep wasting money? Because a lot of things she was doing was just a waste of money. I said, why don't you take your time, figure out what you want? What do you want? And once you figure it out, then plan it out.
Yeah.
And when I said that to her, she replied, she said, it's okay, because I make the money and I spend the money. And I said, now I see why you're still where you are since 2014. Your business never get anywhere.
Boy.
Because you have that mentality, I make the money, I spend it, I'll get it again. Yes, you're going to get it again, but what did you get out of it? Don't just spend money for no reason. Yeah. You have to learn how to appreciate money. You know, that's one thing. When I was young, I spent a lot of money. Oh yeah, I love nice cars. I love buying expensive clothes. I love all these things when I was young. But the moment I had my son, I had to stop and realize that these things wasn't important to me anymore.
Yeah.
Putting my son and WomELLE together stopped a lot of things in my life and helped me to appreciate money better, to understand why money is so important in our life. We need it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what we want to do, we need money. And we have to work hard to get the money. Some of us have to work really hard to get that money. It doesn't matter what you do, you work hard for it.
Most of us have to.
Yes.
So when you
get it, learn how to spend it the correct way. Learn how to appreciate the fact that, thank you, Lord, for giving this to me. Yes, I understand I work hard for it, but also the Lord give you the strength and the power to actually make that happen.
Yes.
The moment I start to appreciate money instead of just spending it right and left. Good morning to that store, good morning to that store, goodbye that store, good morning that store. As soon as I stop doing that, I see a big change in my life. Yes, I made a lot of money, I spent a lot of money, but now I got to see my saving. I got to see different things. I got to see my company build better.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if it's in your personal life or your business life, you need to stop. Yes, you want a bigger house. Maybe having a bigger house is not worth having right now. That can put on hold for a little bit. Yes, you want to change your car, but you know what? The car you have right now is taking you from point A to B. So that's good enough, you know? You don't need to showing up. You don't need to do all these things. You just need to be able to do business.
Yes.
And that's all. Whatever that can get you to start, just keep that. Appreciate money. Appreciate how you spend it. Don't just spend left and right. I don't like when people do that with me. It's like when someone called me and said, hey, Naghilia, can you help me with this? And I usually ask you, do you really need it? If you don't need it, put it on hold. Focus on what you need. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm not WomELLE didn't become $1 million company overnight, because I don't like taking people's money for no reason. It's good to sell, don't get me wrong. I love when the money is coming in. It looks good in WomELLE bank account. But at the same time, I look at what my clients are doing. Do you really need this? You get something, you barely use it, you didn't do anything with it, you just put it in the trash. What was the point of paying me for it?
Yeah. Wow. You said a lot. And I think that's where a lot of people are at.
Yes, that's where we fail, because we're not spending in the right places. So
and we're going here, there, and here and there. It's almost like a person addict. You go from one doctor to the next doctor, to the next doctor, to the next doctor, and you're never really made whole. You're never made whole. It's just a cycle.
Exactly. It's just you keep going back to the same circle. It's like you're going in a circle. So John called you today, said, hey, I can help you build your LinkedIn. It's going to cost you $1,500 a month. Oh, sure. You can help me build my LinkedIn. I'm going to have thousands of people in there. You got it. But you said yes to something. You don't even know where the $1,500 is going to come from in the first place. Do you have it? Can your company afford it?
Yeah. That part.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we don't have a lot of women in business getting on top, because we're spending money left and right, just like we spend them in the store. We're doing the same thing in our business. All I can say is stop. Stop spending.
Just stop.
Learn to appreciate money in your business. When it's coming in, learn to actually give yourself time to see it in the bank and enjoy it being sitting there for a moment. How's that sound?
Yeah, that feels wonderful.
It's good to be able to see for an entire month, oh my goodness, I made $10,000, and you got to see it before you go spend it. Yeah. But spending money where it doesn't even hit the bank, it's already gone, you didn't even see it. And that's when we get that feeling we're not doing anything. We're making money, don't get me wrong, we're just spending it so fast, we don't get to see it in the bank. And then we're sitting here like, yeah, I didn't make any money, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Girl, you did make money, you just spent it fast.
Yeah, yeah. That's why you need somebody to help you. As Margo Russell said, to see the blind spots. Sometimes this excessive spending, we don't really have a plan. It sounds good. We jump for it. It's not part of the plan, man.
It's not part of the plan, and not every opportunity is for you. Sometimes you just have to let it go. Next one, you can catch the next one. Some opportunity come, they just, don't get me wrong, someone called me today, say, hey, Michelle Obama gonna be on that stage. I would love you to speak with me. I would love you to speak at that conference. It's gonna cost you $20,000. Well, thank you, dude, but I think I'm gonna have to pass. Michelle Obama will have to wait to meet me when I'm ready for Michelle Obama, but I'm not ready for Michelle Obama today. It is what it is. Goodbye.
Hey, what you can do.
I'm not going to a conference, pay $20,000 just to take a picture with Michelle Obama. Is Michelle Obama gonna make me sell $100,000 tomorrow morning? Probably not. So it didn't work for me.
There's no guarantee on that. See, that's where people get caught up also. That kind of thing comes up. And anybody who says that they can make a guarantee that you're going to get all that publicity, you're going to get all those customers, you're going to get all that attention, I don't see how they can make those statements. How can it be true that they can deliver like that?
You can promise, even with big companies, I remember even when I used to advertise in a radio station, they never promised me anything.
Yeah.
Me, that's taking a chance that I believe in what I do, and take a chance that people will believe in what I do as well.
Yeah.
You just
but no guarantee.
There's no guarantee. Even when you go spend money on Facebook, there's no guarantee anybody gonna buy. A million people might see it, but nobody click and buy anything.
No.
No one can guarantee anything. So when you go spend all this money just to take a peek, then you go to social media. Hey, everybody.
You are right.
Oh my goodness. Yesterday I met Michelle Obama, and you post a picture. Girl, you didn't meet Michelle Obama. You took a picture of Michelle Obama.
Now, see, you busting folks' bubble. Oh my God. It's true.
It's the truth. I'd rather hang out with people in my own level. I spend no money on it. I build my company.
Yeah.
And when you get there, actually, Michelle Obama will come to you.
That part.
That's the part I love.
Her people are already watching for you. We have to know that. That is very important what you said. We have to know that. We spend all this money on smoke and mirrors when we don't have to. Just keep our head down and keep working. You also said something that was very interesting also, that goes back to the panel discussion that's coming up about pay to play. Terrestrial radio stations, it is not cheap at all to advertise with them. We stumble over a couple $100, but baby, you start doing some terrestrial radio advertising, those spots, ad spots, not cheap. They weren't cheap back with back in the 80s, they weren't cheap.
Nope.
Never been cheap, So yeah, I just wanted to make that clear, because that's how terrestrial radio stations stay alive. That's how they're programming it. It all works around all of those commercials.
Exactly.
And people are paying for that.
I think the last thing I can say is that focus on your business. Stop trying to be something you are not. Just stay focused on your business. Be good on what you do. If you wake up tomorrow morning, you say, I'm going to be a business coach, be the best business coach that you can be, and stay there. Don't say I'm a business coach today and tomorrow morning you're a health coach. Trust me, I've seen it, people done it. I had a lot of women in my circle. None of them, 90% of them are not doing the same thing they were doing when I started WomELLE in 2016. They changed at least 5 times what they do. To a point where I had to lose connection with them because they're not even doing what they were doing before. They were in business. Don't get me wrong, they are still in business, but they were business coach, they were HR coach, or they are this, but they no longer that. They're health coach. Now they CPA without a license. That's calling themselves CPA. They're doing different things. It's like, how did you switch so fast? Stay within what you know. Don't get me wrong, sometimes we decided I don't want to be that. I'm going to go to school and learn something new. I understand that.
Yeah.
But at least if you say you're going to be one thing, give it your best shot. Just because you didn't make money the first year doesn't mean it's not going to work. It will work.
Yeah.
You just got to give it all you have. Give it your best.
It's not more than overnight. I mean, we're talking about seeding into something for years from what I can see. To really give it a full-blown shot. If it
at
takes
least a full 5 years.
I believe it. I at least 4 or 5. I believe that.
You'll see some money.
That's at it every day.
You'll see some money before the 5 years, but you really, if you got lucky, don't get me wrong, you probably end up making a lot of money before the 5 years. But it will take a lot of investing back. Even with WomELLE, the first 5 years, it's like I'm pouring back into it. The money is coming, but it's going back into it again. So when I started WomELLE, all the money I spent in WomELLE, I still haven't taken them out. I still haven't paid myself back all that money. Yeah. Because what I'm doing is when the money comes, I invested back into it. So I can build it, I can grow it bigger. So I keep investing back. There's a time where you're gonna, okay, we're good now. I can take this out. I can pay myself all the money I spent at the beginning of the company. I can do all these things. But first, you got to invest on it, and you got to keep investing. It's just like when you give birth to a child, you just keep spending money every single day. Business is the same way.
Yeah.
It's not something you said, well, I'm going to go 2 weeks. I'm going to open a website, and then I'm going to go to Canva, and I'm going to do some art design. These are great for a beginner. But once you're starting to grow, as you're growing, you're also changing the people that's coming to you, like the customers. A lot of things are changing with your company. So when you change, you also have to change everything else. Your artwork, the stuff you are designing, they gotta look better. They gotta look presentable. When I see people with crappy artwork, seriously, I run like a chicken.
No, it makes a difference. I mean, really, really, it makes all the difference in the world. And not bashing anybody, but just saying, you can tell the people that invest in themselves and those that don't.
Yes, just do it right. Invest in your business, invest in yourself to keep on learning, to keep on growing, because the more you know, the better your business will get. Yeah. When I say investing, I don't mean telling you to go spend $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 paying someone to teach you something they don't even know what they're talking about. I'm saying investing in the right way. Do your homework, make your research, get a mentor. Yes. Get a coach if you want to. Whoever, but get with someone that can help you and stay within your budget. Grow. So if today you can only afford $50, stay within that $50. When you get to 60, you get to 60. Don't try to put a lot of bills in your head. You can't feed your kids because you're worrying you got to pay your coach tomorrow morning, and you don't have that $5,000 to pay your coach, do you? You're creating a lot of problems for yourself. And second, stop digging to your saving because you're going to need it.
Oh my God.
So manage how you spend that saving. Trust me, you're going to need it.
Me too. Ask me.
Manage it. So don't try to go wild because you have $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 on your saving. Don't do that.
It'll go so fast. That first year, it will go. That first couple years, oh my God.
And you got nothing for it, really, pretty much.
No,
nothing.
And you have nobody to blame. You can't say that coach wasn't coach. You're growing. You don't. You. That's part of seeding the soil that you're going to build your business on. I mean, that's real talk. That's the real reality. And we want to say, well, I spent $40,000, $50,000 on that coach and they didn't help me. Well, maybe for one thing, some of the stuff they were telling you, you really weren't ready to receive.
No.
That happens a lot.
And the one thing, coaches don't tell you that, because the way they're looking at the money that's coming in. They don't look at where you are, if you are ready for them or not. They just look at the money, they take the money, they give you the information. The only problem is you don't need that information right now. You don't need that at all. That's not what you need. And that becomes the issue. So do your homework. Where am I? What do I need right now? Yeah. And I have $20,000 in my saving account, and that $20,000 need to feed my children, pay my bills, and help my business grow. So don't try to spend it on coach or a mentor. Don't try to spend it all just on that, because the coach not gonna do it for you. The coach is giving you the information, so you still gotta go do it yourself or pay someone to do it for you. So you're paying the coach, and you gotta go spend the money to get the things done.
That's it.
So you're spending more money.
That's it.
So personally, I grew WomELLE. I did not have a coach. Will I ever have a coach in my life? No.
But you have an MBA also.
Yes, I do have an MBA, but I think for me, I had the best mentors. I didn't need a coach. When people were reaching out to me, a lot of people were reaching out to a point where one person was telling people she was my coach. And to a point I was to say, you are not my coach.
Wow.
Because I do not need one. For me to be a coach, for you to be my coach, you're gonna have to be higher, and you're gonna have to make 3 times of what I'm making already.
You know it.
And your degree have to be higher than mine. And I already have an MBA and soon to have a PhD. So you better back it all before you reach out to me telling me you wanna be my coach. For example, one lady in Facebook reached out to me, said she wanna be my coach. The first question I asked, because I wanted to laugh about it, I was just trying to make fun of fun of her, but it was funny for me because she didn't read who I am. She didn't make research about who I am. She said that I can make $10,000 to $15,000 a month by becoming a business coach, and she can help me become one. And I asked her, so before you become a coach, what was your experience? She said that I was working as a customer service at Target. And I said, what your degree? She said, I don't have one. I have a
GED.
GED. And I said, did you make any research about me? She said, what do you mean? And I said, I have an MBA. So I guess I should be teaching you how to become a coach. And she said, well, I know you have an MBA, but my informations are very, very researchable. So I make a lot of research to create them. She said, I can prove you I'm better than you. I said, okay, go for it. So she sent me a preview of her course. So her gonna be my coach was going to be a course. All I have to do is take a course. That's her being my coach. So how do you become someone coach by just taking a course? I really don't know how that works. So her plan was a course. So I have to take that course that I'm gonna pay her $5,000 for. So she sent me the course, and I took all the information and I add them into Google. They all pop up.
Oh, wow.
Everything was from Google, and I take a screenshot and I send it to her, and I said, next time make your research better, because I find them all in Google.
$5,000.
And she deleted me on Facebook automatically.
Oh yeah, but of course. I mean, it's not fair to do people. It's not fair. Everybody has to make a living. Everybody's especially if you've invested in yourself and you are an expert. But it's not right to fleece a person.
No.
It's never all right to do that. It's like, I mean, I think about podcastacademyonline.com. That's why I am so, I'll never have there. How do I phrase this? So I'm not tooting my own horn, but I am. I have come to understand that there are people that learn in different ways. And when you add accountability with coursework, you can't just let a person say, here, you have this, now go on and do what you're going to do. There are people that need more, and you have to accommodate that and be available to them. So then for the people that can learn how to podcast in 1 hour, more power to them. And to those that need 7, 8, 9, even 12 weeks, more power to them. You have to make sure that the people that you are appealing to, you have what they need and you have some results. And it's not just Google said or YouTube said, you have to dig deeper than that. It's just not right. It's not. So wrong on many levels.
And a lot of these people are pretty much taking money from people who are just starting. They don't really know what they're doing. They don't know everything.
They don't know what to ask, what to look for.
I have I know a girl that's called me and said, oh, I'm going to Tony Robbins things. It cost me. I'm like, how much money you pay? She spent about $15,000 to be in that thing. And then when she got there, she called me, she said, they offered me to buy this class and I'm going to take it out of my saving and I'm going to pay it. And I was like, okay, good luck. And then 2 months later, she called me and said, I never get to speak with Tony Robbins even one day of my life.
You won't.
And then she was telling everybody on Facebook, oh, Tony Robbins is my coach now. And I'm like, okay, girl, do your thing.
Do you think, Naghilia, and we're coming up on an hour here. I don't know how much further you want to go. Do you think that we get caught up in the brand persona that so many celebrities put out there, or those established gurus? We get so caught up in being associated with those names until we don't even think that somebody else can take us where we need to be. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that the fact that these people first of all, we like to show up. I think that's the number one thing, is showing up. It's saying that, go on social media, saying to people, I am with that person. Yeah. I think that's one of the issues. And the second is that they are looking for someone permission. And they felt like if they get that permission from someone that is big name, that will get them there faster. I think it's like for them, they look at it, Tony know better than somebody else will know. But in reality, it's not the truth. So somebody that is not like Tony, that is in a smaller level, can actually teach you better and faster too. Because you have to understand, Tony has thousands of people. And you cannot give your attention to thousands of people, period. You just cannot.
No.
For me, even 50 is a lot because you cannot give each one of them the attention they deserve. So that's the reason why Tony ended up creating a business model where he hiring other people to do that for him. So really, when you get into Tony classes or coaching program or things like that, really, he doesn't meet with you. According to 3 other people that's been in his classes, they never get to meet him. They even asked to meet with them. They said no. Yeah. Actually, they barely meet anyone. They were just getting communication back and forth, but nothing more than that. You know what? When you are just starting a business, you don't know anything about business. Getting with someone like that, it's a waste of money. Yeah. Because what you really need, if you're not a fast learner, I remember when I was a kid, I wasn't a fast learner. I was that slow learner that's getting my B. If I even get the B, actually, I'm sorry, getting my C, and I was comfortable with my little C. And then the math teacher have to pass me so I don't come back because I was a pain in the ass kid. I'm not scared to say that. That's the truth.
Hey, all right.
So, but if you are that type of learner, you don't want to be in these big names, in this big loop. You don't want to be on it because you're not going to learn anything. All you got to say is go on social media and say, I'm taking the master class from Tony. Well, that's good for you, girl. But what are you learning? Where's your business growing?
Can you implement what you learn? That's the thing.
You got a bunch of information because I meet a lot of women lately. They got a lot of information. They don't know how to implement them.
That's it.
It's good. You receive a bunch of ebooks. You receive a bunch of courses. You receive him talking. He brings other people talking about how they build this business. You got it all going on here. But when it's come to time to put it into your business, it's different because the people who have done it in your business are 2 different things. Every single business are different. So you cannot take the same model and putting it into your own business. It doesn't work.
Yes.
You are different. You are unique on your own way. And the other person is unique on their own way. Tony is unique on his own way. How in hell are you going to take his business model and putting it to your business? It's not going to work. You're failing yourself. It might work for 2 or 3 times, but in the long run, you went back to 0. And that's the reason why a lot of people change what they do. It's like they get 5, 10. Oh yeah, Tony Robinson said I'm going to get 5 clients. I get that 5 clients. You screw over these 5 clients because you didn't have the knowledge to teach them anything. Yeah. And you went back to 0. Yeah. You did get $25,000. It's good. You also spend it so fast because you went shopping.
Or you weren't able to get more clients because you don't know. You can't pop the hood on that car that you just built. Exactly. Somebody else built it for you. You really don't know it.
Exactly. So pretty much you get to those courses. They said, this is how to go ahead and build your own mastermind, whatever they call it, course. And you go ahead and create that by copying what they did. And you try to sell it and it doesn't work. Yeah. Why it doesn't work? It's not your model. It was their model. They did it. They created it. And once they create it, they know how to make it work.
Yeah.
But for you, it's different. I think for me, the way I looked at it and the way it works for me is to not looking at what other people is doing. What I mean in that way is that I don't copy them. Yes, I see what Margo is doing. It's great. I love the idea, but it's not mine. So now if I would love to do something similar to what Margo is doing, I got to take it and create my own to make it my way so that it works for me. And a lot of time, you're going to need someone to hold your hands to make that happen. Yes, not a coach that's giving you a course that you need to go take. Don't get me wrong, it's good to take courses. I take them every day in my school, not from coaches, of course, in my school. But when you are taking a course, one thing I learned even taking a course in school, I have a lot of questions. Sometimes I spend 2 hours with my teacher just asking questions because
trying to get clarity.
I could not put the A and B and go to the C and to the D. I couldn't put them together.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people have to look at it. What type of learner are you? Are you the type that they can give you a course and you take it, you push it down and you're good to go? Or are you the type of learner that needs someone to hold you step 1, step 2, step 3, let's stop and revisit step 1 again. Do you get it again? So are you that type of learner? Are you a baby boomer? So don't get me wrong, I see some baby boomer like Margo that's learning super fast. But I also see baby boomers that do not. They like slow poke. So you have to look at yourself where you are. Don't try to be like everyone else. Be you. Do you the right way. Build your business, build your foundation. And when you get there, you don't fall down. It's like when you're building a house, you don't put the foundation right and the hurricane passed and everything went down. You don't want that.
Man, wow. That it makes it so real as to how you have to vet people, put your emotions to the side concerning, oh, I'm up under so-and-so and so-and-so teaching me this. Put your emotions to the side. And as you say, sit down and think about what kind of learner I am. How are they teaching this? Can I implement what they've given me the way they are presenting it? Is their business model for me? Can I learn according to how they're giving it to me? See that?
And that's how coaches,
that's a lot
of coaches I met, that's how they work. They teach you their business model so you can go make it. Is that going to work out for me? So because a lot of coaches, when I meet them, they say, oh, I can teach you how to be a coach just like me. But I don't want to be just like you. So you can go teach somebody else to be a coach. I don't want to be like you. I want to be me. I want to have a business. I don't want to be a coach.
That's the beauty of podcasting. If you find, at least in the academy, if there's, as far as platforms and what's user-friendly, where a person is, I don't just give them one choice, because whatever platform you're going to be on, that's important. That's your lifeline. They're distributing you everywhere, and you have to have a relationship with the customer service. That has to feel like home. So for the person that just says, you go with Buzzsprout, or you go with Captivate, or everybody wants to go to Anchor because Anchor is free, is that the place for you? Are you going to are you going to be able to grow into that? And so many people don't have the coach, the guidance, the strategist, whatever you want to call them, that can help customize that big decision that has to be made. The first one that is thrown out there may not be for everybody. Are they going to come back and say, okay, let's look at this one, or say, you know what, I think Jenny and John, this is going to work good for you guys, and this is why. Take a look at it and come back next week and let me know what you think. But Julie, I think maybe you want to look at another platform.
Yes.
I think you need to be able to give people that, because if you don't help, once again, it gets back to that building the foundation.
Exactly.
And helping them understand why they're doing what they're doing, and how to find follow-up help if something happens when they're at that major structure, that part of their business.
Exactly. And then that brings me back to when you're starting a business, or you're already in business, you're reaching out because you need a coach. I think one advice I would give you, the first question to ask is, how are you going to coach me? Am I taking a class from you? That's your coaching? Or are you going, if I have an issue, I can pick up the phone and call you and you'll be able to answer my question. That was something I needed.
Yes.
When I first started WomELLE, I needed someone I can call, I can ask questions, I can talk to, not just email, because sometimes I get lost in my own emails. And I hit, don't get me wrong, emails are great. Everything digital are great. But we are humans. We still need that clarity of a phone call, helps.
Yeah.
So you can call someone and talk to, and that's the reason why it was for me. It was kind of like having people mentoring me where they didn't mind speaking with me over the phone. They didn't mind talking to me.
Yeah.
And that was important. I can pick up the call, or I can email them say, hey, do you have time this week to give me 30 minutes? Because I have a question for you. And when I was in Florida, I used to even meet them in person. I will go there in person, we sit, we have coffee. I tell them my problem. Usually I put in a long book of questions.
Making good of that time. That's what you do.
And they will answer them. And I meet a few coaches that like that. So there is a few of them that's like that, but there's a lot of them also that's just like, I'm gonna coach you, but it's a course you're taking and I don't even get to talk to you.
Yeah.
You can email me if you have any questions. I'll get back to you within 48 to 72 hours. Well, I have a client problem right now. I get my first client. I don't know how to put the contract together. I kind of need help right now because I don't want to lose that client.
Yeah.
So you have to ask the right questions. Am I paying you $5,000 to take a course? Or am I paying you $5,000 a month to have access with you for X amount of time every single week? And if I have an issue, an emergency, and I need help now, can you spare me 10, 15 minutes to answer my questions?
That part.
You need to ask those, unless you are the type of person who do that, my Google and it and watch a video. But for me, I mind. I like to hear the voice. I like to, because when you're telling me things, I think it's the fact that I study psychology, I can learn when someone is telling me the truth or lying to me, or I can detect these things very easily. So I like to talk to you on the phone because I can hear it from your voice if you're telling me the right thing or not. Your voice say it all for me.
That you know what you're talking about.
You know what you're talking about. So I know by your voice.
Yeah.
And then anyone, Margo, even you, sometimes you can detect that when you call someone that say, I want to be in your course, talking to that person, you can automatically know that person do not want to be in your course. They're just trying to be nosy.
Yeah. Pick your brain, kick the tires.
Yeah, you can tell. So these are the things. My advice for you, make your research, ask the right questions before you get a coach. Mentor and coaches are different. They work in different way. A mentor usually hold your hands, guide you. They take what they have in the brain, they pass it on to you. That's a mentor. Compared to a coach, it's a different ways. A lot of coaches don't want to pass it on to you because if you know it, then you're not gonna need them tomorrow morning. That's how they see it. As a mentor myself, I don't see it that way. I like to pass in my knowledge to you. I had so much to teach you. Trust me, you're going to need more than 5 years to learn all of them. That's how I see it.
The experiences, the book,
the failures,
the life experience, the been there, done that, you're always going to outstep that person that's just starting. Bottom line. Yes.
Either you want to go with a mentor or a coach, make your research. And when it's come to a mentor, it's good for you to at least have a 2-3 conversation with that mentor before you said, yes, I'm going to go with you. Because the way of learning and your way of learning might be a bit different. And you want to make sure that you can learn from someone who can teach you well.
That's important.
I think, Margo, we've been here for over an hour.
I know.
So we did not plan on doing this. Trust me, everything we talk about, we never planned them. We were just
going to reveal the magazine, which is still, and wait a minute. We never did get to tell people that, hey, Podcasters is a podcast.
Yes, it is.
Over on all the major platforms. Tell us about that. And then we better wrap it up. We don't want to lose people.
So if you want to listen, instead of watching the videos on YouTube or even on heypodcasters.com, you can go to Apple Podcasts. You can go to Google, you can go to iHeart, you can go to Pandora, you can go to Spotify. You can listen to each one of those interviews in there. So we find it was easier for other podcasters that don't have the time to sit there and watching a video, but rather when they're driving or they're cooking, they're cleaning, they want to listen to something. So you can still do that by just going to your favorite
platform. Yeah.
Your favorite platform. Just go there. If it's Apple, you can just type in Hey Podcasters and you will be able to find it. You can listen every week. We're adding 2 episodes on Monday and on Thursday. So you always have new episode. And again, if you listen to an episode, you like it, remember to give us a thumbs up, kind of like it, and leave a nice little review. We appreciate it.
That's right. Sign your name in the review. Be sure to put your name there because Apple looks for that. And you don't want to miss an episode. Subscribe, follow, just hit that button, and you only have to do it once. You never have to worry about it. It's going to pop up on your phone. Yes. And then for the magazine, if you want to get a copy of the magazine for $7.99, which is the print copy, you can go to WomELLEADMag.com and you can get a copy. And the link will also be in the information and the description below. So you can always click on it and it will take you there. You can buy a print copy of the magazine. Try to buy one when you can, because they go really fast. I learned that the hard way. Next thing I know, I sold out. And once I sold out, we try not to print. We have an amount we print with. We have an amount we print with our printer every single month. So once we reach that limit, we stop. We don't print again. So try to get it. And we also distribute the magazine. So we have to save copy for distribution. So if you want a copy, try to get it. It's $7.99. So you're supporting WomELLE and you're supporting other women, and we appreciate your support. So click below, get yourself a copy, and leave us a comment. If you like to be in the magazine, reach out. And we're always looking forward to interview other women, founders, what they are doing, to support other women, what they are doing to help the world. So we always want to learn from you too. I'm always learning. So come on over, say hi to us, leave us a comment below. Bad or good, I want to hear it. And again, if you're looking for help, if you want to start a podcast, this is your girl right here, Margo Lovett. Don't reach out to me because I'm not going to teach you how to start a podcast. I probably will be a lost puppy in paradise, because that's not my specialty. But if you are looking for a mentor, you need help with your business, services, website design, you're starting it, you need to know how do you plan it, how you need a business plan, all these things, WomELLE can guide you. I can be your mentor. I don't pick everyone that's come to WomELLE. I don't decide to say, hey, I'm going to mentor everyone. I might deny it because I feel like you're not a good fit for me, because the way I teach is different than everybody else. But hey, take a shot. You never know. Just follow me on social media. I don't post a lot, but you can send me an email. That's right. You will not regret it. Plus, you really do want to go ahead and be sure to get a copy of the magazine, because March sold out so fast. It wasn't even funny. I mean, my brother was running, grabbing up copies, it was like phenomenal. But it's a testimony to how you have grown the magazine. Like I say, it just feels good in your hands. And don't be fooled, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a pamphlet. It's far from a pamphlet.
It's a lot of work. It's over 40 hours of work with more than 3 people working in that magazine to put it out. So it takes a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of energy for us to put every copy out. And like Margo said, it's growing. And one thing I can say, I didn't do it alone. So I had a lot of help, and I'm still not doing it alone. I have people like Margo from the beginning of it that give us content. So a lot of contributors that give us great content for you to learn from. So I cannot take all the credit. I have to give it to all of them. Like Tracy L. James was one of them. Deborah Bishop. She likes
Katrina.
Katrina, yes.
Ramsey.
So even Divya Pereg. So a lot of these women stand behind me. Well, not even behind me, stand with me to put that magazine where it is today. So I didn't do it alone. And I have a great team at WomELLE as well. So I cannot take all the credit. But when you support all of us, because all of us put a piece of ourselves into the magazine to make it where it is today. And we're still growing. We have a long way to go. But with people like Margo, like Tracy, like Deborah, like Divya.
Maggie,
yes. Maggie was a great one too. I love when Maggie writes. When Maggie writes, I have to sit like for 2 or 3 hours reading her article. They are long and very useful. She like take you to step 1, 2, 3, and 4. She like give it to you the right way. It's like, where did she find all this information? Gee, and she always write them by herself.
On time also, I believe.
And she's super smart, Maggie. And then a lot of women, there's a lot of them I forgot. I'm not seeing all of them names, but it's like over 100 of them add content to this magazine. So I didn't do it alone. That's all I can say. I did not. And I'm grateful to have them.
But none of this would be without a vision and without leadership. That's the bottom line. You can have access to all of this, but without vision and leadership to the brand, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's true. Well, I think this is it, everyone. Trust me, the conversation is supposed to be a 15-minute conversation where we show you the magazine, but unfortunately, it takes a few different routes. We have to make some stop. So we like doing that. Me and Margo, when we have conversation, our conversation go a long way. So our conversation is true. It's from the heart. We love supporting women. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, or why you're doing it. We're always looking forward to support you. We like to speak the truth also. We don't say it to hurt anyone. We say it because this is what it is. And if it's wrong, someone has to tell you it's wrong. So if we say something you feel like we shouldn't say it, we apologize in advance, but we don't mean to hurt you.
No.
But it is what it is. It's wrong. And when you go on your business, reach out to the right people, make your research, take your time. Don't be in a rush, because the money will come when you make everything work the right way. And thank you for being with us, and thank you for supporting WomELLE. And I'm sure Margo will say thank you for supporting her. And if you need to start a podcast, you know where to go. And thank you for being a part of Hey Podcasters. We are grateful to have this celebration. We will continue to post and support you as a podcaster. And if you want to be a part of everything we are doing, hey, just say hello, reach out. You never know.
Never know.
You never know.
Over to heypodcasters.com, because all of the information is there. It's really becoming a mecca, a meeting place, and it's evolving into something very special for podcasters, where good, solid conversation is there. And being media, it's a place where people can find you and find out about your podcast and be connected to your podcast. And that's golden. Hey,
Absolutely.
It's another directory.
Exactly. I agree with that. And well, I guess we'll say hasta la vista, baby.
See you next time.